Buenas tardes, buenas noches a todos. Esperemos que estén bien. Estamos en vivo desde las oficinas de Innova Realty con Miguel Gutierrez y un gran invitado, ¿verdad, Miguel?
Sí, buenas noches a todos. Aquí otra vez con este nuevo episodio de Innova Realty Podcast. Tenemos un invitado a un conocido o muy conocido aquí en Pasadena, el señor Sonny. So, Sonny, buenas noches. Good night. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Here, thank you for coming. I know like a lot of people know who you are, but they also want to know who you are, where you started, where you're from, and we would like for you to tell us your story pretty much.
No problem. Let's do it.
All right, Daniel.
Well, Sonny, we know you have a business, and one of the things that we wanted to do with Innova Realty Podcast was to actually excel and promote some of those local businesses. And to start, we wanted to actually introduce ABWireless, which is your business, and maybe you can give us a little bit of your location, your hours, maybe your phone number, where people can reach you. You're really known in the community. We know that you do a lot of social help, and we know that ABWireless is actually a big part of the community, and you help out a lot of folks.
We'll do as much as we can.
So maybe you can share.
We are open Monday through Saturday 9 to 9, and Sunday 11 to 7. And every minute we are open, we can repair. We have all the electronics, all the phones, better prices than any other big retailer like Target, Best Buy, and things like that. Even very competitive with other good cell phone shops out there.
And I know that if they try somewhere else to get that credit, I know if somebody told them no, I know you can say yes. I see that in person.
We can make something happen. There's always a way. That's what I believe.
Perfect.
I believe there's always a good price out there, and I expect my customer thinking that when they're in my store. So I have to be better and competitive, and there's always a way. I believe that too. So I try my level best. Not always, but 95% of the time, we can get you approved with no credit check. Just as long as you have a bank account.
What is the address for ABWireless again?
137 West Southmore Avenue, Pasadena, Texas, 77502. It's right by the Shaver Walmart, across from Wingstop and Popeyes.
Perfect. Well, a lot of people in Pasadena and all over Houston know Sonny. The Sonny that lives in Houston, that likes to help the community, and that does a lot of good for people. But nobody really knows where you started. Like, where you from? Why was it one of your dreams to have ABWireless? Did it just happen, or how did it work? How did it happen?
No, my story is a little crazy for the podcast. I didn't know that we're gonna go in my story. I thought we're gonna go in ABWireless' story. In the year 2000, February 26th is when I came to Houston. The reason I chose Houston, is because my uncle's friend used to live here. So my parents used to bring us on vacation for Disneyland and would stop by in Houston to meet that friend of them. And I had I would say a confianza con him.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing bad, I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to be part of my dad's business because the business he was running was very dry for me. No interaction. The business was running itself. I didn't think that me being there would make a plus or minus in the transaction. So I was just being a teenager. So I decided that I want to leave. So my parents would not allow me because I'm the only son. But they finally give up because the mamada grows, because I wanted out. I came here with the intention, with the idea that the gentleman gonna gonna have a room for me at his house, and I'm gonna start to see if I can go to HCC and start college that way and things of that nature. So when I got here, I guess his wife was not okay with me staying at his house.
So no room, no nothing.
Yeah, so genuinely, he knew someone who lived on Bissonnet and Woodfair, which is the reason I know the cross the street is when we're driving back from the airport. That's when he's introducing me the idea of, hey, you're not gonna be living with me. I know this person. He go to the church, which is mosque for me, and he's a young guy, and you're gonna be roommate with him. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we take the exit of Bissonnet, we make a right, and here comes the red light of Woodfair. We're making a right on the Woodfair street to go to that apartment. I see like 4 cops parked, and the cop is running after somebody, chasing on foot. I'm like, what the hell is this? That's my first hour in Houston.
Wow.
I go in the apartment. Fast forward, I realize it's a 1-bedroom apartment. The guy didn't want a roommate. I was basically a patch. Like I was pushed onto him.
Yeah.
So he was upset. So he gave me a little trouble in the start. And I used to sleep in the living room at a TV and a couch. Back in the day, those TVs were big boxes.
Yeah.
So I would move the table and I would sleep on the floor.
Wow.
And I never slept on the floor before. So yeah, it was a wake up call. I'm like, what the hell is this?
It was eye opening.
Yes, it was an eye opener. I'm like, I didn't even know the small blessings that I have that I took for granted. Like
with your dad business, and you didn't need anything.
No, waking up and just telling the lady who worked at the house to make me breakfast, regardless of what time it is. Now I don't have a way to figure out breakfast.
Yeah.
So it started there. Then the roommate got better with me, and he introduced me to some students that was different part of the Middle East, but they were all originally from Pakistan. That's where I'm from, but like raised in Dubai, and that's where I traveled from.
So your dad had the business back in Dubai.
In Dubai and Pakistan.
And can I ask what kind of business was it?
Was AC manufacturing part.
Okay.
So we would make rubber pipe insulations that will go, because technology was advanced in Dubai. They don't use the big thing that is going. They use a little pipe to make the air travel.
Gotcha.
They don't have big ducts. So because big ducts, it accumulate dust and things of that nature. The pipe doesn't, and it's cleaner air and more. So the temperature that leaves the AC is more accurate. Is the same temperature that is being delivered in the room, instead of temperature dropping while it's traveling.
Because it dissipates.
Yes. So the rubber pipe insulation that goes on top of it, to guarantee that the temperature doesn't go up or down and it stay accurate, we would manufacture that.
Got it. So it seemed like you knew the business perfectly. You just didn't want to do it.
My dad was very pious man. He passed away in 2008, and he would expect me to pray 5 times a day, and I still yet to get on that ball. So that was another
2025.
Yeah. So yeah, correct. So I came here, met some student that speak Arabic or Urdu, which is from Pakistan. I can speak both, so I can interact with them. I become their friend. They're the one that helped me. They were very helpful. They're still my friend till today's date. I'm thankful for them. They're the one who helped me becoming an international student because I got here on a B1 B2 visit visa,
Okay.
and then I converted from B1 B2 to F1, becoming an international student. So the only requirement is if you're an F1 student, obviously you cannot commit a crime regardless. Besides that, you have to take at least 2 semesters with 12 credit hours in a year. So you can skip
Full time.
summer, but then you gotta take both the other 2 semesters,
Fall and spring.
fall and spring semester.
And you were going to HCC or?
Yes, I was going to HCC. I will not know the campus name, but the one in Stafford, and there is one right on West Park and 610, right before Galleria on your right hand side. Also, depending on what classes I'm taking and where they are available,
Okay.
that's where I'll be going. But since I lived on Bissonnet, so it's the same distance. Either way, I would travel.
Now that was making you. I mean, that was actually bringing you into your studies, your degree.
Well, I'm still getting supported
Okay.
by my
By your
dad,
parents.
by my parents. Yes, so life is good.
So you didn't have a job back then. It was just
Study.
pretty much school, and that was your job, going to
And
school
partying.
and
Uh, well,
say it.
my my dad would support me, so I didn't have nothing to worry about. He didn't want me to sell alcohol because that was against the religion.
Of course.
So I got a little smarter, 2-3 months into it. So he helped me buy the car. He supported me from scratch to be on my feet. But then I found a job in a pharmacy.
Okay.
They weren't selling alcohol in Greenway Plaza, right there on Buffalo Speedway.
I used to work on one of those buildings.
Oh, me too. Greenway Plaza 3.
I was on 9.
Yeah, they had a food court downstairs, and there was a gift shop called Greenway Plaza Drugstore, and I was working as a cashier. That's where I learned my English. Oh, sorry, I practiced my English.
That was my next question.
That's where I started learning my Spanish, because in that food court there were ladies that would clean the table. They were hired by the building or
Yeah.
the management, I would say. And once their job is finished, because it'd be hectic during breakfast and lunch, and after that is chill.
Yeah.
So they will come by the scratch offs, and that's where I learned my 1, 2, 3.
1 to 3.
Yeah, that's why I learned my
My
un, dos,
Spanish.
tres.
Uh-huh.
And it started from there. I worked there until 2003. So it started mid of 2000 and 2001.
Okay.
So I would say July, August, and 2003 till 2003 I worked there. Then I met my wife, ex-wife.
Okay.
My dad somehow find out that somebody told him that I have a girlfriend or things of that nature. So that's when he dropped the ball, and
He was mad.
he stopped supporting me. We got into it and blah blah blah. So that's where my real struggle started, because the money I would make, because the international student fees, they're kind of high. You don't
Higher
get
than
no
normal.
financial aid or break, and the money I was earning, it wasn't a whole lot, but it was still good. And the beauty of that place was that I was only working Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So I had white people hours. So if you can party on the weekend and you got no school, you got no work. So that money was basically, party money. Now that money turned into, I gotta support myself money. That wasn't enough.
Yeah.
While I'm dealing with that, when bad things happen, they all happen together, I would say.
It always does.
So I skip my semester because I couldn't pay. 10 days later, I get picked up by immigration.
Wow.
Yes. So 10 days. So on the 10th day, basically I'm finding out that immigration is looking for me. Then I go consult with the attorney on Kirby. She was an Italian lady. Her name was Deborah Caballero.
Okay.
Basically the only option I had was to get married, but we didn't have enough time in our relationship for me to make any move.
And this is with your ex-wife?
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, let me think on it. And then I discussed with my ex-wife, and she's like, no, if it gonna help you, let's do it. So at least to get your paperwork straight.
Yeah. And of course, you didn't have your business back then.
No. I started going to work, so I didn't even have a job.
Wow.
So I was, it was a bad time for me. Thank God always supported me. While we discussing this, I'm like, no, we have to go to your parents, and I have to talk to them. This is not the right time to make this move. But she said, no, let's do it let's do it. And this way we can get you out of this bind and we see what happens. And I still didn't want to do it without doing the right way. And in between that, I get arrested because the attorney said, if you get married before you get arrested, it's a totally different process. If you get arrested, then it'd be harder to even get you out, and then it'd be more harder if you get married afterwards. So, while I was thinking, because I didn't want to do it just for that, or I didn't want to rush into something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Well, I got arrested.
So you got arrested. You couldn't sell alcohol, but you were drinking alcohol.
Well, yeah, but there is an answer. I do have it.
Uh-huh.
When you sell alcohol, the idea here is that you're making the community bad.
Yeah.
When you drink alcohol, then it's one sin, which is your sin.
And you're still saving the community because you're drinking it for them.
No, then it's between you and your God. If God want to forgive you,
of course,
then it's you and your God. And if you distributing it, it's you don't even know how many people,
That's true though.
Drinking it, maybe after the drink, getting in a fight or an accident,
driving.
The conscience behind it. That's why, and I stick to it. Whatever my dad said, so many things he said. There are several I never follow, and there are several I hold on strongly. It's just whatever I guess makes sense.
But your dad was a businessman, right? And,
yes.
And the apple doesn't fall too far away from the tree. So you also had that within you, and you started to invest yourself in a business, or after all that.
No, so I would not make this sound like a Cinderella tale because it wasn't.
It never is.
I was on my ass.
I think we jumped a little bit though. I feel like you haven't got married yet. Did you get married?
Yes. Well, they took me to Export Plaza on Greens Road, and I was there for about 13 days, and I met all kind of people.
And this is when you got arrested.
Yes. Okay. So when you just out of a status, they put you in a journal dorm where you meet all kind of people that are waiting to get deported or whatever the case may be. Some of them even fight their cases from inside, which take a lot longer, but they they think that they have a chance. Met a lot of young people from different stories. I met a guy getting deported for his Ford DWI. Was 6 months old when he came to US.
Wow.
So he don't even know what Mexico looked like.
Yeah.
Met a guy from San Antonio, 17, 18-year-old, 18, 19-year-old, somewhere in there. Done some crazy crime. And his parents had a bakery business in San Antonio.
Okay.
So then I met a couple of people that got me into the kitchen job, and then breakfast was good, and I would just sleep there. They just helped me out.
So you were a cook too?
No, I didn't cook. I just clean.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
but when you work in the kitchen,
You get free food.
you get the good food.
Of course.
Yeah, but that's only in the breakfast time. Then the rest,
You can't.
you can't. And
that's here in Houston.
that's here in Houston on Greens Road, right.
What was the restaurant? Nobody pays us, so you can just say a name.
My lower fought hard for me. She liked the part that I didn't jump into it, and while I was thinking what I want to do, I got in trouble. So she came to see me, and she tried her best to get me a bond hearing.
Okay.
And my bond was $25,000. So immigration bonds are expensive, and you have to pay cash.
Wow.
Back then there was no WhatsApp, so it'd be hard to get in touch with my family.
So they didn't even know that you were arrested?
No, they will find out through my friend. So my dad sent a message with my friend that, just tell him to come home. Just accept the voluntarily deportation and just come home. We don't need to live there. And I would pass on my grandma's number to my friend, so she can send some money to my friend.
Yeah.
So while I was in the process, I got the bond hearing. One of my really good friend father paid my bond, or agreed to pay it with the attorney. But it was one of those things that if you Friday. It was a Friday, so if you don't put in the money by 2 p.m. on Friday, you're not getting out until Monday. So my attorney actually used her own money to pay my bond.
Wow. To make it on time?
Yeah, to make it on time. So when I got out, that's when my friend's father paid her, and then a couple of days later, I received money from my grandma. I paid the father back. And then couple of weeks down the road, found a friend because I don't want to borrow my grandma's money. So I used his credit card at one of my friend's business, got the money out, sent it to my grandma, and I just paid his credit card back.
Wow.
While all this is happening, now I don't have a choice because I'm in a removal proceeding. They barely give me a bond because they're like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
When are you going to get out? What relief he have? That's the word they use. Like, what option he have that we let him out? Like, so my attorney said, well, he was planning to get married, but wasn't able to, things weren't ready. So that's the route we're going to be going. So I got the bond. I get out. I went to see the parents of my ex-wife in Galena Park, and it was tough. But my ex-brother-in-law, Jose, and his wife helped me out a lot.
So was it tough because they didn't want to?
They didn't want, yeah, they didn't want her to be
get
with a
married.
guy who have a different ethnicity and things of that nature. But my brother-in-law supported me. My ex-brother-in-law supported me. His wife supported me. That, hey, he's coming to you and he's asking you for permission. He could have done
Not
it any
everybody
other
does that.
way
Yeah.
and things of that nature. So a couple of days later, they got okay with it. So, yeah.
Wow.
So then I got married, and a friend of mine, uh, used to had a cell phone shop. We didn't pay the light bill.
No, it's a sensor. There it goes.
So a friend of mine told me that, hey man, you have family in Dubai. There's a company in Hong Kong. They sell unlocked phone. Why don't you import them?
Mhm.
And we'll sell them. I'm like, where are we gonna sell it? Well, we're gonna sell it at the Harvin. So I inquired about it. It was a company in Hong Kong. The name was Free Plus
Okay.
HK out of Hong Kong, and they would sell the Motorola Razr and the unlocked version, so you
Yeah.
can use it with whatever. They will sell the small Panasonic, the
Little
itty
ones.
bitty ones,
Yeah,
really,
yeah, I remember those.
and then a model called V60. It was a Motorola right before the Razr. Was a stainless steel. When you close the flip,
Okay.
it was a metal body on the outside. Things of that nature. I gathered some money and I started doing that. I would send money. I started with maybe 3,500.
Okay.
That will get me about 4 or 5 phone.
That's how you started AB Wireless.
No.
Just
Just
get-
get started.
No. This is just how I came up about cell phone.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's just he started in the business.
Yeah, so there used to be a bank called Southwest Bank of Texas.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they were bought by Washington Mutual
Uh-huh.
before Washington Mutual got bought by Chase. So I opened that account because they have a branch in Greenway Plaza.
Okay.
So I would go deposit the money, then they wire the money for me. I receive the phone, and then I will go to Harvin. I keep 40, 50 bucks on top. And, oh, by the way, this 3,500 was also borrowed.
Okay.
It wasn't mine.
You have good friends.
Oh, thank God. I had a good PR, even though, because these were my party friends,
Yeah.
So they knew what happened and how I was before and what went on and things of that nature. So they knew I was good for it. 5 phones, sold it for 50 bucks. You didn't much. Didn't make much. While I was doing that, I remember Target was the only one. No, Target was the first one to started prepaid phones
Okay.
in a blister packaging. The big Nokia 6010, 6010. It was white by T-Mobile. Everybody had that phone. So I will buy that phone for $39.99, and I will go, because after doing the Hong Kong thing 3-4 times, I realized I don't have enough money
Keep doing it.
to keep doing it. So I saw that and I start buying that. Take it out of the blister packaging, because the one in the T-Mobile box. So that phone came 2 different way. One in a blister packaging as a to-go phone, a prepaid phone that you purchase minute for it, because back then nothing was unlimited. And then the other way was it would come in a actual box, and it was a T-Mobile on it. Well, that phone was very expensive. Let's say that phone was $110, and the one in blister packaging was 43 some change, because it was $39.99.
Yeah.
So then I will go buy a box. I put that phone in there, and then I would just go to Harwin. I don't tell them where I got it from, and I would offer it to them. Back then, there was no such thing as blacklist IMEI or a stolen phone. None of that. It was as simple as, if it looks new, if it feels new, it's new.
Yeah.
And sell it for like, I would say $75-$80.
Make you profit there.
Yeah, so now $3,500 looks good because I can buy a lot.
Yeah.
But the problem is that Target would have like 4 or 5. Then you go to the register and you talk sweet to them, and they will print out a receipt where it shows what other Target nearby have what quantity. But there's no Google. So you ask them, hey, where's the other Target? It's like, I work on this Target. I don't know where the hell is another Target. So I knew all the Target by heart.
Wow.
Yes, so there was one in Marlin. There's one on San Felipe and 610.
So you used to travel to all of them to just grab those phones.
Yes. And then it would come. So it's $39.99. That's for the phone. Back then, the SIM card would cost money too.
Yeah.
And it will come with $10 worth of airtime. So with time, I realized that, man, this is good. Let me just sell the phone. Instead of Harwin, let me just go to cell phone stores and don't even present it with that SIM card and the kit that have $10 airtime, and just try to sell the phone.
Yeah.
Because obviously they go on Harwin and buying it. So I'm pretty sure Harwin keeping some money. So I'm delivering it to them, and let's try it. So I just tried it. And yeah, I got the same money that I was getting at Harwin, but I got the SIM card and the $10 airtime on the side.
Wow.
So then I would sell that for $25, because the SIM card itself would cost $25 and $10 airtime, so it's $35. So now you offer it, to other shops for $25.
They make a profit of $10.
Correct, but they buying it $10 less than anywhere else they would pay. So yeah, it's a win for them.
Nice.
And yeah, now it's looking like I'm doing something illegal, because it's $43 suddenly ending up to $100.
Yeah.
So I gathered that money. I never stopped selling the phone, actually. I kept selling it. But then I got a capital of about $7,500. It took a while, because with that money I will pay my bills, not going to college, paying my attorney. I had a payment plan with her, and I'm returning some money to my friend who lent me the $3,500.
Wow.
So it took me 6 months to start feeling good, where I paid off my friend, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm not partying. I'm not buying clothes, wearing the same clothes. Yeah.
You sounds like you're a married man too. So
no, not so much. Not so much because of that. Is when my father used to support me, I would buy Emporium money, but I can't buy Emporium money with my money.
It was Walmart.
So I would just dry clean and keep wearing the same clothes, no problem.
Yeah.
Then I start sending money to Hong Kong again. This time I did 10 grand. I had about $7,500. I borrowed some money for 2-3 days from a friend, same friend I returned the money to, and so I can see a decent amount.
Yeah.
I wired about 10 grand without knowing that you're not supposed to deposit 10 grand. So I made that mistake. That bank was very little. It was a very small That was a very small bank. So that was one thing. And then I would go and I would need, I would go and uh, I would need cash right away because you wire the money Friday. You wire the money Friday. Sunday night is Monday morning in China.
Mm-hmm.
So they process your order, they ship it out overnight, which will arrive here Wednesday midday.
Okay.
So I collect Wednesday midday, run to Harwin, don't keep whole lot of profit. Within 2-3 hour, cash out everything at a dirt cheap price. It still makes some profit.
Yeah.
Run back to the bank
Restock.
and wire again. Now it's not 10,000. It's probably 11.5.
Yeah.
I deposit the whole 11.5 and I wire it. And so this way I can get the next shipment Friday or Saturday morning. And then you will have to drive to Cash Road, Stafford. That's where the UPS warehouse, and they will give you a Saturday pickup allowance.
Wow.
They will allow you. And then now I have Saturday, Sunday, and about Monday. So I had good decent amount of time because I cannot reach bank until Monday morning anyway.
Correct.
So I would try to do 2 cycles. Well, after 5 cycle, FBI was looking for me for doing so much wire transfer.
You said FBI?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it was so many wire transfer that was going
to
Hong Kong, and I was so they don't look at that you only have the 10,000. No, since it never came back in the form of you collecting a check from somebody, it's kind of like another 10,000.
Yeah.
Another 11,000, and it's not even the same amount.
They were questioning why you're sending all this money to Hong Kong.
And where I got that money from.
Wow.
Because technically I'm a student out on a bond. So what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
So I provided them what I needed to provide them. They didn't give me no trouble. They didn't came at me the wrong way. They were strong at first. Once I explained them,
yeah,
they realized that I don't even know the law of
the 10,000?
Limits.
Yes, the limits and how to do things, or how should I receive the money? I should receive it in check or things of that nature, or cashier's check. I didn't know nothing. So
wow.
So while selling these unlocked phones, I met somebody in Oklahoma that had access to buying Verizon phones from like a Verizon, when customer is not satisfied and they return their devices. They were returns, but working phone. I got a little scared with, FBI because I'm dealing with immigration. I don't want problems.
Yeah.
And I used to get scared back in the day, not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, so I was really spoofed that, for just a small thing, they came looking for me because to me it was small. To them it wasn't. So I'm like, you know what? I want to avoid this. And then I would rent a car because my car wasn't reliable. Had a $450 Volvo that I paid. I bought it from a Domino pizza delivery guy.
Okay.
Thinking that if he's making the delivery, that car have to be reliable, right?
For pizza.
Yes. But I didn't know that he told me, hey, the shocks in the backs are bad.
Yeah.
You can only ride solo by yourself. The AC don't work so great and things of that nature. Wow. So I bought the car for $500. I didn't have the $50, so I paid $450, and I asked him for a week for the other $50. I knew the guy because of the Greenway Plaza. So that's how he helped me out. One day after saving money, I used to live on Hillcroft and 59.
Okay.
So Hillcroft and Bel Air have a Fiesta. Right next to Fiesta, there is an AutoZone.
Okay.
Like next parking lot. I just walked in to inquire about, today I'm just gonna buy the shocks and get this over with. Each shock was $487.
Wow.
Something
The price of the car.
It was a Volvo. So
Yeah,
those
so-
cars are expensive.
It was a 1998 Volvo 740.
Wow.
So I never put the shocks, ever. I kept the car for a while,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to invest no money anywhere else, but to just pile up my money so I can get more phones.
Of course.
So I would rent a car, go to Oklahoma City, buy phones from this guy because I just ran out of people.
To sell it to.
No, the people got tired of buying that Nokia 6010. So, and I also wanted to change. I also wanted to change the scenery because I didn't want them to be like, hey, why he have unlimited access of phones? So you gotta play smart. So that's why I paused it, even though I had access to it, and I did unlock phone. And then when I got in trouble with that, I came back to Nokia, pushed that, and here and there when somebody asks me for it, I make it happen. I made it seem like, it comes when it comes and it stops when it stops. So you gotta play the game like
You really knew that if you wanted to get it, you could get it.
Oh yeah, because it was every time I get an order, I'll fulfill it. Like,
Yeah.
bring me 3 next time you come. Like, cool. This Verizon hookup that I met, I will buy a phone from him, then come here. Verizon phone were very expensive back then. Selective customers. I had a buyer in Richmond, Texas. I would sell it to him. And then I'll work with Nokia. And then go on a Harwin, meeting other people that wholesale. They saw that I'm selling. Then they would offer me their product. That, hey, take some of our phone and sell it because you're going door to door.
And they knew you were good at sales, so they knew you were gonna sell it anyways.
Well, I would sell them the Nokia 6010. So, and the unlocked phones. So they knew that I had something going on.
Yeah.
So they will help me build relation, not so much credit. I'll buy it because I know that I can move it. I can make $10 off of it same day. So I did it. So ABWireless was one of the store that I would sell it to.
Oh.
And I think that's where we pause. Because you're about to say how you started ABWireless.
Yes.
So we already went almost an hour? And we're going to have part 2.
Okay.
So I'm telling you in front of the camera. So are you okay having a part 2?
Yeah.
Let's do have a part 2. I didn't know you had this deep story, and I think it was really entertaining. And I know a lot of people are were really interested to know who you are, and we got to know all your troubles and.
Yes, God was always with me. My mom always prayed for me. My grandma always supported me. So yeah.
That's always helpful. Pray and family when they're together and they want to help. But that's always always helpful.
I even know the turning point when I was in immigration trouble. I would pray in there. I would not pray like
When you were outside.
when I was in trouble, I would pray and I would pray really hard, like really, really hard. I was embarrassed at the fact that I never got in trouble, because my uncle knew someone or my parents knew someone,
Yeah.
or because of the family name. But being in jail was embarrassing. So I'm like, if I get deported, they would not even allow me to go home. I'm really gonna get deported. So it's just gonna look super bad
Yeah.
on my parents if somebody find out that I come back.
But you were deported enough for the right reason.
Yeah. So that was the whole time that was going through my head. And another thought that I'm gonna look like I can't be anybody without my dad.
Correct.
So that was also, these two things would bother me so much that I would cry and I would pray. And it, from that moment when it switched on me, like I realized it switched on me when my attorney said, you know what, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna pay your bond so you can get out. And right there, or the judge granting me, because the judge was opposing that, hey, you're not married. What is the reason? Like, what you gonna do leaving from here that can fix your papers? I like to know that, and I'll let you go. Like, well, we didn't have anything concrete. Like, I cannot simply say, oh, look, this is
my girl, I'm getting married.
No. This is my wedding card. That my invitation or whatever, that I was getting married on this day.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble. No, I didn't have nothing. So whatever we telling the judge or the lawyer is basically the idea that this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But it wasn't on a stone, because I still have to go to my ex-in-laws. I still have to go through the drama. I still have to make sure my ex-wife is okay with it.
Yeah.
And all that. So.
Wow. Everything happens for a reason. You have a great story. I would like to have part 2 to tell people how, with all this that you told us, how you got to start your ABWireless. And I know you have more to tell us. We'll put the date pretty soon.
Sure.
And let's make it happen.
Yeah, most def. And I appreciate you.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. And we're really, we're really good friends. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody. So if you have any questions for us, let us know. And stay tuned, because he's coming back.
Yes, the story keeps on growing.
The story keeps on growing, yes. And then there's more to come, and I know it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Sonny is an individual that has a lot of light to shine. And I think that's the reason why when he felt alone, there was people around him.
Oh, no, I'm so thankful to God.
Yes.
So on the next one, we're gonna talk about how he started ABWireless and how now you're able, from sleeping in the floor, to be able to help people in the community and help a bunch of people around us.
Yes, thank God. Thank God. Did small things back then, but nothing to this magnitude. So yes, I'm thankful to God, and I'm thankful to ABWireless and my customers. That's the only way it's possible.
Before we go, give us that address again where they can go and see you at ABWireless.
137 West Southmore Avenue, Pasadena, Texas 77502. Southmore and Shaver by the Walmart.
Perfect. And you know now that if you need a cell phone, he can get it.
Yes, cell phone, service, repair, electronics, finance phone. Whatever you need, we can help.
He has all kinds of stuff. He can repair everything. Anything you take him, he can take care of it.
From a broken external hard drive to drone to PlayStation 5, HDMIs to phones.
Everything. Awesome. Well, thank you very much. Good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Most def.